schließen. Hello, my dear friends. Thank you. I've got one viewer already and one like. Thank you very much. This is the Christmas pushing. Wishing you a very nice 3rd of Advent, which we celebrate today. And as you see this really beautiful Christmas tree that I talked about last time, this overboardingly kitschy Christmas tree is alight again. Pusheen is a placeholder because my cats escaped me. I wanted to greet you with a cat. They escaped me. They know exactly. No, not quite. We got our first victim here, and this time it's Tommy. Tommy, the ginger Tommy, says hello. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, usually he's up and away, and I just want to put the Christmas tree a little bit in a better position. Just a second. So, I think it's better. Yeah. It looks a little bit lopsided, but it's not lopsided. It's really absolutely straight. It's just the camera angle which makes it look slightly dizzy, but no. Absolutely okay. Artificial trees for you. But okay, it brightens the season, and especially in the evening, it looks very nice. When all is dark around and then you just see these colored lights, and yeah, then you have the candles and here and there. So it's very romantic and idyllic in a way. And in former times, I talked about that in my last live stream. We had a lot more Christmas decoration, of course. I'm going to make the music a little bit softer. Small. It's happy birthday. Okay, it's this Unwind Station music list, royalty free. That's why it's always running in the background. Because I once had a live chat, which I had to cancel because YouTube canceled it. There was some jingle bells also running in the background, which obviously is not royalty free. And since then, I'm very, very cautious about background music. Yeah, in former days, we had lots of Christmas decorations, higher trees, real trees, original, Nordmann firs. But of course, in this house, formerly 5 people lived here, now 2, or rather 1.5, because my son is rather often off to business and has an own home too. And it's not worthwhile to make this lavish decoration for, in fact, one person who has occasional guests, but not permanent guests. And as I said, my life partner is in the USA and, of course, comes visiting here and then and here and now. But it's no use to make this lavish Christmas decoration as in the past years or decades. So I leave it to this tree, to some decoration. In the background you will see 2 eyelids, the eyelid robots. I bought egg warmers for them to use as little bonnets. I can show you. So I managed to find an egg warmer in exactly the turquoise color. They naturally come in and it's very easy. You just put them on. They have a sweet little pom-pom over here. And the egg warmer is an ideal bonnet for an eyelid. I plan to put the eyelids on so you can hear and see them talk. But to be honest, they make, even if they are not working, if I don't press the belly button, so the on-off thingy, they're really noisy. They stand about for a while. Maybe you've seen my previous videos. And In my previous video, I had to tap them on the belly to make them do things again, to start them again. And meanwhile, I think it's the next development step. They just stand there idly for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then they start to squeak and scream and fight on their own. And it's very loud. I put down the noise level a little bit, but still, I mean, I have the music, I have my voice, and then you have the cuddling eyelids in the background, so that would be too much. That's why they are off. And Chica is going berserk. We have snow, a little bit of snow. It's not very much. Those of you who live in Switzerland or maybe in the northern parts of the USA or in Canada, you would laugh it off. It's just a slight layer of snow. It was this morning. There was hello, my dear Jackie. Hello, thank you, welcome. Great to have you here. And this thin layer of snow in the morning was a little bit thicker, but then the sun came out and well, licked it off, almost all off. And there's now a little thin layer left, but it's not much. And about half an hour ago, it started snowing. I was very happy. I said, maybe Chica, she can play with in the snow, but no, just 1 or 2 flakes, and that's it. And as I mentioned earlier in an earlier video, this is, at least in our region, well, it's a fate of our region during the last years that in December you have less and less snow. It's the snow season is mostly January or early February, but then only then you couldn't build a snowman. Maybe a tiny snowman like an Eilig, but not a very big one of 1.5 meters or so. As in my childhood, it's totally impossible. But at least you have some sugared landscape and glittery with frost. It's very nice, but as I said, it's only for January, and if you're lucky in early February, and then in late February, springs again. It's beautiful today. I love sparkle. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I'm sparkly. I'm all sparkly today. Thank you. I decided to put on something more glittery according to the season and a chain. And I wanted to put on an ugly Christmas sweater. But of course, I don't have any ugly sweaters, let alone Christmas sweaters. No, to be honest, I have a very ugly Easter bunny sweater. But okay, it's a big glittery Easter bunny. And it was a little bit off. So I thought to myself, we had a very, very cold March and April, by the way. As I said, in late February and early March, spring comes, full-blown spring. Yeah, blossoms and grass, everything is blooming and growing, and everything is very colorful. But then comes April or late March with sudden temperature drops. So overnight the temperature drops. Maybe we had that last year of a temperature drop of around 10 degrees Celsius. 10 degrees. So all the lovely blossoms and the little tiny shy flowers, they were dead. They were totally dead. There was not much snow, but frost. It was very cold, also during the day. I remember that because I was starting to worry a little bit. I don't have any flowering trees, but the neighbors have. And okay, all the blossoms of the trees, which of course fell down due to the cold temperature, they fell on the pool cover, and from the pool cover the wind blew them right into the water, and I had to drag this thingies out again then later in summer. So I was a little bit nervous, but it was okay. It was okay. It was not too much. Now, and this time we will see. Last week, temperature was okay. It was too warm for December, of course, but no problem. You didn't need any sweater, or not a thick sweater as that one. And 2 or 3 days ago, the temperature started to go south, and now it's about 0 or 1 degree Celsius, and at night it's -5. And they said that during the next few nights, only nighttime, we're going to have -10. -10. Oh. And in daytime maybe +1 or +2, but that's most of it. And of course, you guessed it, my heating system failed. 3 days ago, I started to freeze. I don't want to catch a cold. Maybe I'll get a cold. And then I noticed that the cats and the dog, they left the carpet places and the sofas and went to the very, very warm baskets, which I usually don't use because this apartment is heated a little bit, not over much, but a little bit. And I thought, they are cold too. And then I put my hand on the heater and it was cold. Yeah, it should have been warm, but it was ice cold. I went down to the basement. And to make a very, very long story rather short, after trial and error and after contacting my son and I don't know whom else, I really was nervous. I phoned even the electricity service, the government service. Maybe there's something wrong with them. Blackout or brownout or whatever. They said, no, we don't have such a thing. It must be something with your house only. It's not the region. We don't have any shortage. Okay, so I contacted my son again. I said, oh God, please come help me. I'm freezing to death here. Okay, and then he discovered, after many trials, because this house is a smart home, we have lots of automatic thingies going on in the basement. There's this big Sicherungskasten. This is fuse box. Do you say fuse box? The box full of fuses, and some are on 1, some are on 0. And me as a absolute layman or laywoman in that field, my son, of course, he took one look and knew, it must be this or that. And the heating system failed. Okay, it was down because it's connected somehow to the solar system. I have solar panels on the roof, and these solar panels are controlled by a little box. So this little box controls the solar panels. Yeah. And the conductors, do you say that in English? In German it's Konduktoren. And this little controlling box was kaputt. Yeah, it had gone the way of all living things. And because it was out of order, the solar panels were out of order, they didn't work. And as the heating system is connected to that, the heating system also failed, and it was all like a domino problem. Yeah, one domino stone falls and all the other stones fall too. So I detected that, of course, it is always in the evening, and my son then found out, okay, we have to replace the controlling box, but the company who produces this controlling box, it's still in existence, but they don't do this sort of solar panels and controlling box anymore. They have this installation is about 12 years old, and in these 12 years they have changed their portfolio a little bit. So they still do PV, photovoltaic and solar panels, but not this kind. And I was desperate, and my son was phoning and mailing all around the world to get this special little box, and he succeeded. So now I'm sitting in a rather warm apartment. Everything is okay. He cut off, so to say, the solar panels and the controlling box, so it doesn't interfere anymore with the heating system. So now the heating system's, it's oil heating, by the way, it's running, it's okay. And tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, somebody of his company will come, or maybe he himself, and replace this thing, which of course will cost some euro too. It's not very cheap. it's practically, it's rather expensive, and it's just a thing you need in Christmas time. Yeah, this is a cold apartment. Then the knowledge that you have to pay several thousand euro because this has to be repaired, and I love this kind of year endings. It's wonderful. We had a similar year ending when my parents were alive several years back. And yeah, also the heating system was broken. We had no solar panels back then, only the heating system. And then my son was too young to do anything, so we had to contact another person, another electrician, who came, said, okay, it's no electricity problem, nothing with the fuses, I cannot help you, I'm sorry. And then we contacted the Heizungsbauer, the guy who had installed the heating system, and he found out that the oil barrel, the oil tank where all the oil is stored, was defect. It didn't give off any signals, and the oil was stagnant, and that's why the heating system didn't get any more oil, or didn't get any more heat, and then yeah, went south. That was the problem. Also, it was in the evening, it was in Christmas time. It took this heating guy hours and hours to find out what it was, and then come back with a colleague, and then so all the holiday spirits was of course up in the air. But I'm very happy that we found the solution now to this problem, and that we're comfy and cozy are we, thank goodness. So, and by the way, as always, I drink to your health, my dears. My cat cup. I have several Christmas cups, but I still have to find them. I've put them away and stored them away so good I don't know where they are. Yeah. It's a very fresh, hot cappuccino. I know normally you don't drink cappuccino in the afternoon, but I'm not in Italy. Don't tell anyone. So apart from that, nothing big has happened. Thank goodness I don't need any more news like that. Yeah, I think I have another live stream in 2 weeks, which will be on the American Christmas Day and the German first day of Christmas. Yeah, it's a little bit, in Germany we celebrate Christmas, as you know doubtlessly, I still say it. In Germany the Christmas day is not the 25th, but the 24th. In the evening, it's Christmas Eve practically, and at Christmas Eve children get their presents and the tree is lighted and songs are sung and you hear the rustle of gift wrappings and gift paper, and you watch Christmas movies on TV or horror movies as we always did. Because as an antidote to all these happy seasons greetings, we all love each other, and it's such a nice, warm, heartwarming season. Candles glowing, hearts glowing. And my parents and I, we always needed a kind of antidote. So we watched, my parents, they watched The Munsters or Addams Family, something like that. It's not horror, but it's not Christmassy either. And I watched the real hardcore horror movies, but everything was okay. There are a lot of good Christmas horror movies, by the way, like Krampus or so. By the way, Krampus is a legendary figure which really, it's not Hollywood idea, it really exists in certain regions, I think especially Bavaria and Austria. Krampus is, he accompanies Santa Claus on his way to the homes, and where Santa is, of course, is very generous and friendly and nice to the children and to their parents. Krampus is just the opposite. He detects the evildoers at once and is ready to hit them with a bunch of twigs, and then Santa intervenes, of course, and says, no, there's a naughty and nice, okay, but even the naughty children have some nice element in them, so but the Krampus still, especially in these Swiss and Austrian and I think, yes, Bavarian regions, where it's celebrated, not this region, but you can look it up on Google, Krampus with a K, and he looks very fearful. He's dressed in straw and with a horrible mask, with long horns, an embodiment of the devil practically, or the church interpreted as a devil. It's, of course, it's a pagan custom of the days before Catholicism, and the pagans didn't know no devil, of course, but the Krampus was the embodiment of all things evil in general. Somebody who makes bad weather or brings illnesses and so on. So the embodiment of evil, accompanied by the embodiment of all things good, which I think in the days before Santa Claus was a female figure, like Frau Hulda or Frau Frieda, Frau Hulda, I think. And later, okay, this part was taken over by Santa, and Krampus, as the symbol of evil, was taken over then by the Krampus, the devil. That's, of course, Christianity wanted to put a stamp on the local customs, and successfully, as we see. That's why we celebrate Christmas Day on the 24th of December. If you read the Bible, of course, you know that Christ must have been born sometime in April or early May. Shepherds, flocks on the fields. You don't do that in December. Even in warmer regions as in Israel, you don't do that. In December, every decent shepherd has his flock in the shed, and or had his flock in the shed, and stayed at home. There's no way to lead them out in the very cold field where nothing grows. So, but of course, you had the winter solstice and the 23rd, 24th, around that time, the pagan festival of the winter solstice, and so the church said, okay, of course, no winter solstice, no bonfires, nothing, it's all heathen, no, we cannot celebrate that, but we celebrate the birth of Christ, but on this very date. So people just go on celebrating. In former times they celebrated the end of winter, the slow beginning of spring, and symbolically chased the evil out, as I said, Krampus and so, and or the burning of straw men, which was celebrated and still is, of course. But in its early days in Europe, the Catholic Church said, okay, no more burning of offerings or of straw men, or slaughtering of lambs, or no, nothing. You can go on celebrating, but then you celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. But on the day that you're used to, the 24th of December. And that's why the birth of Christ has been transferred to midwinter instead of being celebrated as it should be mid-spring. That's the reason why. I guess you all know that, but I still wanted to tell you. I cannot tell you why in Europe, at least, Christmas is celebrated on Christmas Eve, and why in the English-speaking countries, America, I think Great Britain too, and other countries, why it's celebrated on the first day, as we say, the first day of Christmas, the 25th in the morning. I don't know how that shift came about. Maybe you can write it in the commentary. I could have looked it up in Google, but I just think of it that there's a difference. And I know that as a kid I couldn't have slept till the 25th. I think I would have camped in front of the drawing room door in the hope to see Santa and his reindeer. So it's very good, this German custom to give the presents on the 24th in the evening. I remember all these presents I got, and then taking them to bed with me, like Barbies or roller skates or whatever, and I put them, as I said, next to me in the bed, and then I slept into the 25th, happy with my presents. And in the morning, of course, the presents, they were all used, and Barbie was dressed up, and I used the roller skates in the drawing room, much to the pleasure of my parents. They were very happy when I made my rounds on the hardwood floor, on the freshly polished hardwood floor. Of course, it had scratches and everything, but okay, that's, as a parent, you have to live with that. If you give presents, children use them. Yeah, and in Germany we have also a second day of Christmas. It's the 26th, which I think is unique worldwide. Maybe Austria or Switzerland, I don't know. But I think in Germany it's rather unique to have two Christmas Day. So you celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, the 24th. 25th is the first day of Christmas, 26th is the second day of Christmas, which is a bank holiday. All 3 days are bank holidays. No, the first and the second day of Christmas, 25, 26, they are bank holidays, not Christmas Eve itself. But most companies, including mine, they give the staff leave on 24th because it's no use. People are off anyway. And I remember my mother when she worked, or my father when he started to work in the 1950s, that they had to turn up in the office on 24th. They were allowed to leave at around 1 o'clock, so midday they were gone, of course. And they said that even in the morning, no client called, there was nothing happening except the staff having a party and getting drunk. In that day it was usual to drink alcohol in the office. The 50s and 60s were very libertine times in regard to liquor and cigarettes, and there was a lot of fun going on 24th. But as I said, they had to turn up in the office. And only in the late 60s it was abandoned. More and more companies said, okay, it's 24th, you stay at home, but the bank holiday is 25th, 26th. Germany has a lot of holidays, by the way. I think you all know that. So if you're working full time, you have around 30 or 31 free days. And if you're very clever in calculating and looking at when are the children's holidays, and when are weekends, and when are bank holidays in general, so like Easter, Easter Sunday, of course, and Easter Monday also. And if you're very clever and very calculating in that sense, you can make out of these 30 days that we may use it as free time. Out of the 30 days, you can make like 60 or 70. Depends on, of course, how the calendar is and how the vacations are and the bank holidays. But you can have months of holiday. And some people are, well, they are not very compliant. Then they said, oh, I'm just in the Caribbean and I got sick. I cannot return to the office now. I have to go to a hospital there, and 2 more weeks I have to spend in wherever, Barbados or wherever the people are, where it's nice. And so you have 2 weeks plus. Yeah, you just say you're sick. You turn in some sheet by a local doctor, and then, at least in my company, it's rather common. They say, okay, we have the confirmation by a local doctor that you're sick. I mean, people get sick during the holidays. It happened to me once too. I was on vacation in Dubai, but I was really sick, really. And but I know of some who say, okay, it's so beautiful, and I don't want to return to cold Germany, and so I just paid a local doctor. I paid him some money, so for new coffee or whatever, and he gave me this confirmation, and I gave it to my company, to the personal consultants, and they said, okay, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, so all the best, gute Besserung, speedy recovery, and we see you 2 weeks later. So of these 30 days, you can make much more. And people, of course, do that. Obviously, it doesn't harm the economy, and as long as everybody is happy, why not? But of course, it's cheating. Yeah? It's a little bit cold, and I think the dog is barking outside. Just a second. Oh. No barking dog. No barking dog. I just heard it, but I closed the door a little bit because, as I said, heating is running now, but 1 degree, it gets coolish if you leave the door open a little bit. It's cold. So now it's not cold anymore. And yeah, that's why Germans are looking forward to holiday seasons, because it's not just 2 or 3 days off, but maybe 1 or 2 weeks off. And this Christmas is the last Christmas I will spend, so to say, no, it's not the last I will spend, no, not in general, geez, no, but in the company. So, because you know that next summer I will go into early retirement. And now, of course, this Christmas time, I still have work to do at the office. Next Christmas, God willing, will be all free and behind me, and yeah, happily and luckily, I will stay happy and healthy. You never know, of course, what happens within 1 year, but of course, I hope things will be maybe better, or at least they will stay the way they are. And this December, I decided not to go on a 2-week or 3-week even holiday, but to work from time to time in the office, just that somebody is there. Of course, we do have these home office regulations. I work, as you know, maybe part-time, so 1 day in the week I work from the home office, which is located here, and the rest of the days I spend in the company, in Frankfurt. So vor Ort, presence, to show presence. There are other companies who say, as long as you bring the results that we need from you, you can work wherever you like. It's like flex office. You can work in a home office, or you can lock yourself into the loo and sit on the toilet and do your work from there. We really don't care. The important thing is the result. We need this and this result at that and that time, which is, I think, a great idea, because it's what is counting in the end is, of course, the result of your work and the quality of it. But my company, they say, yeah, due to Corona, of course, we introduce these home office regulations, but if possible, it's better if you show up here. Even if you haven't any appointments or business meetings or anything like that. Business meetings, of course, we do via Teams. But still, it's a little bit an old-fashioned company. We'd like to have you here. Which resulted in me being there last week, last Friday, and people are starting to go on holiday now, of course. Yeah? As I mentioned, 2 or 3 weeks. In short, December, you can put that off the calendar, because people work in December, but not as much as in February or May or whatever. It's a holiday month. And so I was there last Friday, all alone. It's a big office, ein Großraumbüro, this is cubicle office. It's very big, and I was all alone there with one of our work students. She was there also. So a very young and very nice girl, and with a very interesting family background. I have a rather family, so we talked about our family backgrounds, and of course we did some work, but most of the time we were just running around and looking for other colleagues who, of course, weren't there, either at home or on holiday. And then it gets dark early at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Dawn begins, and 4:30, it's dark, it's like night. And so we really sat there, 2 hushed and shy ladies, all alone in a very, very big building, in the very, very big office. And the lights, the automatic lights around us, they grew dimmer and dimmer, and then they were totally off. We said they're in total darkness. And so we went to the toilet or whatever just to move so that this light goes on again. And the only other living souls that we saw were the very nice cleaning ladies who were very happy to see us because they were all alone too in this huge building. It was it's like, as I said earlier, horror movies and Christmas time, you could do one there, really. Wow. Every minute you expect Krampus or somebody else to enter. And well, this week I'll be in the office on Thursday and on Friday. But this time it's even closer to Christmas Eve, so I guess we are more alone, maybe without the cleaning lady. So yeah, I don't know, because this, as I said, this work student, she also has to come on a regular basis. But to be honest, it's we're working in the administration. If you're working in the operative field, of course, yeah, then it's something totally different. If you have a direct client contact, if you work in the call center or whatever, okay, then I understand that you have to be present. But I do a lot of lists, I do a lot of telephoning, yeah, people still are telephoning these days, and I get asked because I do some consultation work in a certain field, and people ask me and they phone, or if they don't phone, I'm getting contacted via MS Teams, which is also fine, but it's all work that you could do, as I said, from the home office. Yeah, you don't need to go 100, 200 kilometers to your workplace and to spend all this very, very precious gasoline, and you could stay at home. But no, as I said, they have a little bit, it's a rather modern company, and but it's run by people who are a little bit elderly and who, with me, will go into retirement next year. So I think next year or in 2-3 years, this company will change so much. It will have younger bosses, and they have a younger, more flexible mindset, that such a rant as you hear now, you won't hear again. I think the younger people will introduce the flex office or flexible working time, work-life balance. I talked about that in one of my earlier live streams. Yeah, that's the time. I mean, I'm 60 myself. I talk about our elderly bosses, but you get what I mean. It's because I quickly saw at home office and MS Teams and all the the benefits it's brought with them. It's very fruitful. It's a very good idea, and but others don't see it. Sometimes even people who are younger than you, are maybe in their mid-40s or in their 50s, they say, no, yeah, but this home office, you never know what people are doing there. Maybe they just sit around and drink coffee for 3 hours. And I say, yeah, look at the office. You have certain people who stand in the Teeküche, yeah, in this tea kitchen, or in the coffee kitchen, in the little coffee bars. We have little coffee bars for the employees in our office, who stand there all day long. Yeah, each of you knows 1 or 2 colleagues where you know, wherever I go to the toilet and have to pass the little coffee bar or tea bar, whatever you call it, and there you see certain colleagues standing there. As you always see that in every office, and it's human. It's only normal. And of course, these people, or these smokers, I have to go for a short smoke. Yeah, and then you see the smoking colleague half an hour later. And then 2 or 3 hours later, I have to go for another short smoke. Okay, the next half an hour, gone up into thin air, in the true sense of the word, gone up in smoke. And people who do that in the office, of course they do it in the home office, especially so because they're not seen, yeah, by judging eyes of their bosses or of their colleagues. Of course they do that. I mean, I won't call them lazy bones, no, but if you have this little lazy bone gene in your gene pool, you live up to it at home or in the office. It doesn't make any difference. And the main thing is that, as I said earlier, that the result of your work is good, is of the kind that your superior says, okay, yeah, a very good work result. Thank you for being so on time and for doing it so, so perfectly, or maybe not so perfectly. I have 1 or 2 questions, whatever. But that's the main thing, is the result of your work. And as I said earlier, it's even if you're a little bit lazy bonish, if you bring it on, whether at home or in the office, it's okay. I mean, I don't understand these ewigen Neinsager, ne? These eternal naysayers who always say, that's a progress, something progressive, flex office, home office, flexible working times, and this is all new to me. I don't know what that is. Can't be good, and that's what I call constant naysayers. These auch Verhinderer. It's a little bit old-fashioned, this old-fashioned thinking of maybe the 60s or 70s, in the days before internet, and always astonished people at my age or even younger who have this mindset, but there are still some. But I guess, at least in my company, in the next 2 or 3 years, it will change. Which, of course, doesn't bother me, as I will be off in half a year. Half a year! Drink to that. So, as I see, now I have only 1 viewer left. We had some more earlier. I will put an end to that. Thank you very much for joining me on this joyous occasion. And we see each other, if you like, in 2 weeks, on the first day of Christmas, or on Christmas Day, the 25th, also at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, German time. And as usual, I will look for an animal who will wave goodbye to you. Just a moment. Wo haben wir sie denn? Wo seid ihr denn? Found somebody. It's Lady Chica this time, not a cat. It's my little Lady Chica. She was outside, but she came back in again. It's too cold even for her. Thank you very much for joining, my dear Tranquil Unique. Thank you very much. I'm always happy to see you around. Very happy. And so is Chica, and she waves goodbye. And we wish you, my dear friends and viewers and subscribers and visitors, we wish you a very happy 3rd of Advent if you celebrate it. If not, we wish you a very happy Sunday, and a happy festive season, and we see each other in 2 weeks. All the best to you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Chica, smile, smile, while I put it off. Chica, smile.